And a warm welcome to Art House. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Let's check out our lineup for today. A solo exhibition and mini performance in Lagos. Then in another part of the commercial city, a unique cultural and artistic approach to the game of chess. So we are celebrating the beauty of culture and tradition on this episode. But first, let's hear from our wordsmith for this week.
Our wordsmith for this week is Golden Black by Lucky Stephen Onya. Being black is a privilege. Black gold still flourishes. Its DNA and footprints felt. Our world runs on its supply. Nature's resource explored, refined and domesticated. Its gas for homes industry. Petrol as blood-run engine. Who don't like Black Friday? Offering deals and discount. Kerosene-lit lamps, fuel jets, diesel power, heavy vehicle. Black is gold not by color, but what it offers humanity, as its oil serve as lubricant, paraffin for ointment, candle. Yet many will so discredit, paint it dark and make bad, while bitumen for paint, road, so also black lives do matter.
Let's begin with this exhibition, a rather refreshing approach to the game of chess, I must say, as we see Nigeria's first indigenous variant in this show at the Red Door Gallery, Lagos.
It's a breath of fresh air for art and cultural enthusiasts, especially those who are lovers of the game of chess, as a traditional board has been designed and works of art that spotlights this historical journey exhibited in a show called 1851 Agidingbi at the Red Door Gallery in Lagos.
The 1851 Agidingbi launch is definitely one of a kind, literally, because aside this one being the first chess variant, the exhibition in Nigeria, this is the first time you're going to have the chess, which is usually black and white, in different characters that is telling the story of the bombardment of Lagos, which a lot of people do not know. Probably so many people did not know that at some point Lagos had about 22,000 estimated, and then it got reduced to 5,000. What happened in between? So much. But because history is not so much taught these days in schools and people did not know what happened, so nobody had an idea. Well, let me not say nobody, there were some people who had the idea, and so they felt people need to hear these things more often. Hence the chess game, which actually started as an exhibition and then something prompted something, and here we are.
I feel so happy and so fulfilled that finally we are telling our own story. Even if history is not being taught anymore, we have taken it into our own hands to tell our story, to give narratives of our history, and of course to bring it into the cognizance of our children. But it's not just that, it's the imaginative, creative way in which the history is being told and being projected. I must congratulate Ade Damola for this amazing original concept of telling our story. through the game of chess.
The game, designed by culture activist and historian Oludamola Adebowale, takes players on a riveting adventure based on historical events surrounding one of Nigeria's most populous places.
The idea is to use history as a medium in preserving and further telling Nigerian history. The idea came in 2017 when I had an exhibition at Freedom Park, and since then we've created the board, and we have the board and the app game. So it is more like exporting Lagos story in a digital way with the app, and also preserving it for future generations with the chessboard. We don't have anything like this yet in Nigeria, so this is the first variant of the chess game, like I said, and it's a way of further telling Nigerian story or Lagos history. We need to tell our story. We need to tell our authentic Nigerian story. We don't want foreigners to come into the country and be telling our story for us. So this is one way I'm using telling Nigerian story. More like me being a researcher, a historian, a curator. There's a need where we are saddled with the duty to keep telling our stories, and this is what we've done with the 1851 Agidingbi chess game.
Everything will just be summarized that history needs to be told, and it is said that people who do not know history, who do not learn from history, will definitely repeat it. And trust me, when history is repeated, most times it is negative and more disastrous. So please let more people be aware of their origin, their source, their culture.
The traditional checkerboard design and unique chess pieces has features named after Lagos royalties and chieftains, such as the Erelu Kuti of Lagos as the Queen Mother, the Oba of Lagos as the King, Adamueyo as the Rook, Omo Ogun Eko as the Pawn, Eleto Odibo as the Bishop, and Abagbon as the Knight.
All along, when you've seen the game of chess, it's always depicted by foreign gladiators. But this time, he has pitched the African gladiators against the foreign invader. And it's quite clear. So what he does that is bring home forcibly to you what actually transpired those many centuries ago. And really, it's a wonderful development. I hope many more artists will begin to tell our story in such an imaginative way, in such an original way, depicting our own people, that we have our own style, we have our own custom, our own culture, our own battle attire, not just the foreign fighters with the barrels of the guns and all that, you know.
Just show how we can be creative in our thinking, how we can be innovative, right? I can imagine the brain work that have gone through this and the research that they went through to come up with you're being the rook, for instance, you know, and selecting who will be the pawn and all of that, right? I think it's very, very good. It's very, very innovative.
Everything I do has the premises of history, culture, and arts with it. So this is what I do. This is what I do 24/7. So doing this is just a way of further exporting the Nigerian story, Lagos history to the world. The people need to understand it. I was telling Her Royal Highness when she came that we've had people outside Nigeria reach out to us that they want to buy the chess game, when will it be available, when will it be ready, than people in Nigeria. That is the power of history. And anybody that buys it are not just seeing history, they are seeing the spirit of Eko with it, and that is as beautiful as it can be.
viewers are in awe of the brilliant display before them.
I think it's a good way to tell our stories. One of our history in Lagos, right? And what other way is best to do this if it's not using games, right? Chess is one of the foremost games in the world today. And using the chessboard to represent our heroes, to represent the people that fought our battle, to represent the people that we'll call our warriors, right? It's a very good way of teaching history to everybody. One of the things that we lack in our society is telling our story, right? And using games to tell stories is a brilliant idea. I must congratulate the 1851 Agidingbi crew on this, and I think it's very, very resounding.
We have all seen that main battle was to curb the excesses of Oba Kusoko from carrying on slave trade. But you see, there was victory at the end of that. They were able, with the support of the people of Eko, who did not believe in slavery, to actually win the battle. And then, of course, the succession of Oba Akitoye, from where peaceful coexistence and reign started in Lagos. And of course, trade became more buoyant and life became more abundant, So you can see, I'm sure all of us have something to take away from what we have seen here today about the history of Lagos. So people who didn't know the beginning of Lagos, that we actually fought, that our ancestors fought for the emancipation of Lagos, we now begin to see that perhaps maybe it's not a no man's land. Some people fought for it and made it sustainable and make it a beautiful, happy, prosperous place that it is today, that we are all enjoying.
We need to preserve stories. We need to preserve our history. We need to learn it. We need to create our history in newer bottles to preserve it. Nobody's going to tell our story for us than us. We don't want the white man or somebody come out of the country to and tell our story. So this is we preserving Lagos history, Nigeria history via the chess game, and that is what we've done with the 1851 Agidingbi chess game, which is the first variant of the chess game in Nigeria.
The photography, video and board installations are meant to serve as a histo-cultural pool, preserving a body of knowledge of the Lagos colonial history.
I know, right? I was really intrigued by the creative and cultural transformation, and I'm not even a chess fan, but I always admire the players. Okay, let's take a moment now. Art House returns with more. Do stay with us.
Art is solace. Art is vision. And when I pick up a literary work, I am a consumer of literature for its own sake.
And these are the works of art you sent in recently. Let's begin with this one by Adekunle Mayowa. It's called Dreadlocks. It's done with acrylic on canvas. He says it's becoming a new wave and trend in culture. Then the head is an acrylic charcoal paper and mop on canvas work done by Taiwo Joshua. This imaginative composition by Daffy Soho is called If I Hear Am, Terms and Conditions. It's an acrylic on canvas work. Then Peak Beauty is also an acrylic on canvas work by Innocent Chikeze. Oguntola Kehinde has Independent Woman, a pen pointillism on paper work. Then breakfast is what young artist is serving his viewers with this acrylic on canvas piece. While Circus is an oil on canvas work by Peter Ineji. We wrap up with Expectation, also done with acrylic color on canvas by Tom. And that concludes the works of art you sent in recently. We appreciate you for sending them in and encourage you to keep them coming.
Contemporary artist Moses Obiayabo presents his solo exhibition, which is the 9th in the series, at the National Museum in Lagos.
The artist's name is hanging boldly at the entrance of the exhibition hall, so the visitors already have an idea of the issue being explored in Agidingbi Series 9, a solo show by contemporary artist Moses Ohagon, who has passionately followed this cultural showpiece that originates from Kebbi State.
It's a documentary of Argungu. This is the 9th of the series. The artist has been working on this in the last 18 years. And this started way back 2006. He had his first exhibition at Terra Culture under the sponsorship of Ford Foundation. And that was what really stimulated everything.
Ever before going to the north, I've been painting Argungu, I've been painting the north. To my greatest surprise, in 2004, I found myself in Kamba. Kamba happened to be under Argungu Emirate. Kamba shared the same border with Niger in Kebbi State.
The artist's passion flows beyond the festival, but is concerned about the people and their essence, which has been captured through his colors, technique, and unique style.
Well, this exhibition is Series 9 of the documentation of Argungu documentation. Argungu documentation is all about documenting Argungu day in, day out of the people of Argungu. When this part of the world, when you mention Argungu, what comes to the mind first is the fishing festival. I'm going beyond the fishing festival. Activities in Argungu, like Argungu Fishing Festival, will have the cultural display, wrestling, and every other thing. The last day which the fishermen enter the river, which ends the fishing festival.
Series 9 is quite interesting because it gives the dynamism of what you find in Argungu today. It tells you all the happenings. If you recall that Argungu Festival started way back 1947, and since all this while, it's been celebrated. Indeed, the world had to recognize them in 2016. UNESCO had to come in and place them on the list of cultural sites in the world. So Argungu Festival is very key, it's very important to us. And we have brought Argungu Festival all the way to Lagos. Argungu is about 711 kilometers from Lagos. So it's quite an interesting thing to do.
Some of the art enthusiasts are fascinated about this documentation that gives them an insight into the lifestyle, tradition, fashion, occupation, landscape, history, and religion of Argungu.
I'm very happy, obviously, and I'm sure my governor and government and the entire people of Kebbi State are happy
that a part of Kebbi is being celebrated in faraway Lagos. If you look at the history of how it started, Yet Kopa went to Kebbi to serve for over 10 years ago. He visited Argungu. He was in Argungu when the festival was took place. He instantly fell in love with it, and he has held on to that love until today. He's the man. He's from Edo or somewhere there. It's hundreds of kilometers away from Kebbi. You can see the peculiarity and beauty of Nigeria. A man from different background. I'm talking about our rich diversity now. Happens to go to Kebbi, or happened to go to Kebbi, stayed for air for national service, saw an event there, and from then he has been with it, trying to promote it.
Generally, he is person I can call passionable to his core. He put all his heart on artwork, and he has been doing well. What we are seeing here is, I was overwhelmed when I came in. I was overwhelmed because I never knew that this thing has gone to this extent. I came all the way from Ogun State to attend to this display today. It's beautiful and it's nice what we are seeing.
The artist also talks about some of the works of art on display, especially the Fishing Festival and his method of application.
The big one behind me is mystery. Mystery in the sense that during the fishing festival, which the fishermen from all walks of life run, and that moment you see dust, people coming out from dust, as in the moment whereby everybody is running to enter Matamfada, the river. I'm this kind of artist whereby each subject are approached as it comes. I might wake up approaching the project and a subject say use watercolor, which definitely I will use watercolor in doing that instead of doing the regular oil color, which everybody does as well. Like the work on display, I have 5 watercolor, 1 charcoal, 3 mixed media, 2 acrylic, and the rest oil color.
The artist intends to change the mindset of Nigerians and enlighten them so they realize that Argungu is more than just a fishing festival. Although he's not from that state, his creative eye has been able to interpret the beauty that lies with the community.
There's more to enjoy, but that's when Art House returns next time.
Coming up on the next episode.
Stacey Rovero and Francis Agemo showcase what it means to be truly nomadic at Nomadic Art Gallery in Lagos. Evolving Lines of Our Time, an exhibition at Art Pantheon Gallery. We encourage you to keep liking, sharing, and viewing our page so more people can enjoy the ever-bubbly and ingenious art scene in the country.
Your Art House experience doesn't have to end when the show is not on television. Interact with us on our various social media platforms. See any edition of Art House on our website or YouTube page. Join our very interactive Facebook page by joining the group on Art House on Channels. We're everywhere.
That's the program today. We appreciate you for being great company and look forward to interacting with you on our various social media platforms. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Have a lovely day.